I finally get to review something artistic. How artistic, you ask? Well, check this out.
You like to watch me, to see me do dirty things, but I'm not gonna show you. That's private. I'm gonna cover up. I'm gonna hide myself.
Sure, the movie is also a porn, but at least now when I masturbate to it, I feel a little smarter afterwards. Plus, every time you jerk off to an experimental art film, a film student gets his degree.
Of course, not that it matters that this is an art film. I've been watching and reviewing terrible movies for so many years now that I know I'm gonna make smart-ass comments during this one too. Worst Vagisil commercial ever. God damn it! I can't even watch an art film without being an asshole. I'm a snob who's so pretentious that I'm a snob during something pretentious.
There's just something about this credit sequence that doesn't exactly scream erotic. Feels more like an early 80s slasher film. Edited by Pearl Diamond? Mark my words, that's the shiniest thing you're gonna find in this movie whose film stock looks like death. I will say that when you pop in a porno film, the last thing you want to see is Introducing Monique. Written by Rince Dream and Herbert Day.
Well, I know one of these names is a pseudonym. You know how I know that? Because this movie was co-written by Jerry Stahl. Who is Jerry Stahl, you ask? Well, none other than the writer for Alf. This movie could advertise itself as being from the writer of Alf, and it wouldn't be false advertising. Same thing if you were to say it's from the writer of Bad Boys 2.
Jerry Stahl was portrayed by Ben Stiller in the movie Permanent Midnight, which chronicled Stahl's then addiction to heroin. So if Night Dreams looks like the fever dream of someone with an out-of-control addiction to heroin, that's 'cause it was.
I know you're watching me.
Oh shit. The movies have become self-aware.
This is our star, Dorothy LeMay, who's been committed to a mental institution for extreme nymphomania. Ugh, the director's cut of Sucker Punch really is that different. I will say this movie is a step up from Hardgore, in that I'm positive it's not a snuff film.
I can feel my pussy so open you can see inside me. I feel so juicy I can't stop. I feel my clit so wet and everyone can see.
Why didn't someone tell me that's what the vagina monologues were? I would have seen that show ages ago!
Well, Mrs. Van Houten seems to be on fire today.
Thanks, Chris Parnell. That's putting it fucking lightly.
She seems to be experiencing some sort of erotic trauma.
True, it usually is an erotic trauma that leads to a career in porn.
The doctors are wrapping their brains around why she's so horny, but my own personal diagnosis is that she's suffering from starring in a porn-itis. Wait a minute, here's her problem. She's living in the house from Insidious. How much more surreal can this get?
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree?
Stop.
I'm finding it very hard to get aroused here. With these faces popping up, you might as well just show me a picture of my mother, 'cause there's no way I'm getting hard right now. And then there's this, too. Not sure how sexy it is when your porno is shot in a room that clearly belongs to a child.
But if you have the brain of a true cinema snob, you would realize that the Joker in this scene represents the comedic irony that even as an adult, we still have to hide our pornography as if we were children.
And we hide our porn so terribly, we might as well be fucking right out in the open.
What do you think?
Let's give her more. Mrs. Van Houten has incredible capacity.
Wait, her name is Mrs. Van Houten? Nice. I always wanted to see a porn starring Milhouse's mom.
If you two scientists are worried so much about her nymphomania, just prescribe her a fucking chastity belt. It's not that hard. Or make her dream about cowboys from whatever. This set is so cheap it makes Hey Dude look like it was shot by Sergio Leone. But at least we get treated to some fine poetry before our fucking.
We love the feel of fire, the way it burns. Ooh, we
love to feel it all around us until all we can do is breathe and fuck. April showers bring May flowers.
I don't know. Showers and flowers take on a whole new meaning in the context of a porn. I'm not sure they should be used in the same sentence.
Although this scene clearly represents how primitive our Western civilization has become, that even the simplicity of woman-on-woman sex is considered taboo.
Though I'm no scientist, maybe they have a different opinion.
I don't think she can handle much more. Shall we sedate her?
She's never going to learn to handle pleasure if she doesn't get any.
Then go in there and fuck her.
Oh, never mind. She's monologuing again.
You think I'm a whore.
No one here said anything.
You think I'm cheap. But I don't do it for money. I do it because I want to. You think I do it for you. That's why you stare at me.
God damn it. First my mother, then my ex-girlfriends. Now my porn is judging me.
Thank God, now the disciples are here to guide Mrs. Van Houten to salvation. Or they could just fuck her.
I get what's going on here. The disciples are teaching the young lady how to turn the other cheek during sodomy. It makes it more comfortable.
It's around here that I get the feeling that this is what David Cronenberg jerks off to every night.
So then this will be what I jerk off to as well.
Maybe you should lick the director's semen off your lips before they start rolling.
Imagery response is a very accurate way of judging character. Most men wouldn't even be bothered.
What bothers me is you seem more concerned with your own desires than with Mrs. Van Houten's.
True, we are halfway through this porno, and the doctor has yet to be in any sex scenes.
Wouldn't you want to be in sex scenes as hot as this? That scene reminds me of something. Can't think of what.
Newborn! Porn! Newborn!
No. That scene was made by pedophiles. This one is just weird.
Man pulls out a fetus, lady plays with fetus, end of scene.
Now, sure, you could say that scene had nothing to do with anything, but smart people like me know that the scene tells us that addiction to pornography starts at birth.
Next up, Mrs. Van Houten poses for either the Ms. 45 box cover or the Dress to Kill box cover, not exactly sure which. As we see here, she keeps getting spied on by Ratfink from the Wild World of Batwoman, and she's found her electric foot massager.
Ooh, this is gonna be hot!
Ah, the golden age of porn, where even the women's arms were hairier. Personally, I'm disturbed in knowing that there probably was somebody in the audience for this film thinking, oh God, I hope she takes a crap. In the real world, this causes her to continue her breakdown. Either that, or she's just rehearsing for the hospital's production of Midnight Express.
These last few scenes have been a little too normal for my taste. Luckily, here's where the movie gets fucking legendary.
Nothing like cooking breakfast in a nightie and getting hit on by a guy in a giant box of cream of wheat? I'm guessing option 2 was a box of Uncle Ben's rice. I like when he lays flat on the ground, because if you can't get up, you might as well get it up.
Don't worry, people. The scene's not over yet.
What's a balanced breakfast without a giant piece of toast? And the best part is, the toast comes with plenty of KY jelly. Oh yeah, play that shit. Now this is some hardcore sex.
What does this scene represent, you may ask? Well, if you thought the first guy should have been dressed as a box of cocoa wheats, then you're racist.
Every good sex scene needs a cigarette break afterwards, and why not follow your cream of wheat cream with a smoke next to the big mouth Billy Bass?
Take me to the river. Drop
And what would an odyssey into the minds of the risque be without a trip directly into the abyss of hell? Good lord, this is the part of Tiberius's grotto we didn't see in Caligula. Oh, I know what's gonna happen here. She's gonna stumble upon the Shankara stones during a thuggy ceremony.
Choice? Who has a choice? Not me. Not for this boy.
But obviously, this scene represents the personal hell that it is in watching a porn when I could be starring in a porn.
Wait a minute, please. I've never done it with a woman.
I think an earlier scene disagrees with you. It's almost like these sequences were randomly placed in the movie in no particular order.
And if only I could show the climatic scene where she gets fucked with a strap-on made from a goat's foot. But I can't. Sorry, 8-Bit Mickey.
But if these sequences didn't lead up to something, then the movie would be entirely pointless. So fortunately, it all leads to a twist, in which Mrs. Van Houten was the boss of the two scientists the entire time, who eventually got her off by simulating heaven. Now, I know many of you may think that that makes no sense whatsoever, but it does.
Obviously, the ending tells us that the entire movie was a metaphor for escapism, and that Baby Doll sacrificed her own sanity so that Sweet Pea could... Wait a minute. That's a different fucking movie. Sorry about that. What was this movie about again? Cream of wheat, toast, fish, Satan, fetuses... This movie is better than Sucker Punch.
Look at the bush on her.